Quick disclaimer, none of this is financial advice. This is educational purposes only. Don't get wrecked, please.
Not on our part.
I'm trying to go a bit more above board, so just warning people not to get wrecked. But good morning. How are you?
All right, thank you very much. It's strange week, and we've got obviously the first proper round of data today. So that could be interesting, to say the least.
Yeah, agree. It's
very, very much looking forward to that.
Yeah.
So we'll see what that brings. So what we've got PPI, retail sales.
Yeah, CPI.
It's stuff to kind of as a gauge on where the economy's at, right?
Yeah, it'll be quite a good looking window in. Obviously, we've had quite a strong push up from the lows of last week. Obviously, Friday was Armageddon if you were on the wrong side, and heaven if you were on the right side. Hopefully, all of the people who listen to the wise men were on the right side and managed to accumulate.
Shame on you! Shame on you!
Yeah. A lot of the entries here. I was actually going through one of my exchanges, and I got clipped on a load of spot orders for altcoins from where we ran through on the close, I think last month.
Yeah.
Obviously we had the H bar entry here, Say here, Jasmine here. So they were all really good. And then overnight, my short orders for Ethereum and Bitcoin missed by a whisker, which is annoying. I can't really complain. It's been a good last few weeks. And then this week there's a lot of news. Obviously we've touched on the inflation stuff. We also have quite a big week in our United Kingdom, don't we? It is the week of make or break, or break or make, or what will Reeves do? And it'll be quite interesting to see sort of how this begins to pan out, because from my perspective, I'm not expecting anything particularly good. And I assume from your perspective, you're probably expecting something even less good than I'm expecting,
It's a real funny one. So if you look at what's going on, or obviously their backtrack on tax rises was nothing short of hilarious. But I was reading this morning that they might just do a bit of a mix and match just to kind of fudge the numbers this time around. Who was it? George Osborne.
He'd put some things in. I put out my newsletter this morning on the description, and I likened it to more like death by 1,000 cuts, and it feels like she's going to do similar to what she did last time, where she tries to put in as much small tax rises across obscure and niche areas that it becomes a bit more palatable, rather than do what is probably the sensible option, which is cut spending. And not that I like it, but she'd solve a lot more of her problems by putting a penny or two on the rate, instead of really trying to go into some of these obscure areas. It's been interesting because the gilt market's been really, really choppy over the last in the run up to this. It's probably the choppiest we've seen it. I will flash up the 10-year. This is the one without my lovely commentary on. I've just put some key levels on here. But as you can see, in the weeks leading up to it, we've had this chop, and then on the gilts with more of the hints towards tax rises, we saw quite a nice cool off on the gilts. But then over the last couple of weeks, we've seen these really creeping up, and they sit just below the level that we peaked at in Liz Truss's budget, which I think is quite amusing.
Yeah. Yes, it's, well, my 10-year, we perfectly retested support.
If you want to share, I'll put it on screen.
Yeah, no, I think so. Where you've got your chart, obviously, if you look at on we basically retested the lows of February, 6th of February 25 and 7th of April 25.
Yeah,
that's all we've really done. But as you said, I think you're in a massive. If you put it on the weekly and look, I think you've got this chart, the ascending diagonal or the finishing diagonal from a chart standpoint, alludes to probably a massive rapid expansion move.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and we see a lot of liquidity above here.
Yeah. So I can see somewhere above 5.5% coming out, which would obviously be a bit of a issue. But I think it'll be a fudge personally.
That takes us back to 07.
Yeah.
Then obviously you've got 08 there. But yeah, this will be interesting to see unfold. I was also having a look at the BXY and some of the key dates.
Yeah.
Obviously, this we've seen correlating to what we've been speaking about the bonds. We saw this begin to push back down on some of the uncertainty. Do we see a mini budget-esque collapse like that again, or do we see a push down? I mean, I think that's probably an interesting area, this little void here.
Yeah, well, the thing is, you can see where support is, right? From 2017 across, that's clearly the line in the sand. That's going to get flushed.
Yeah.
Unless it breaks out hard. What is the daily closes? So the monthly close, which you're on. What is that peak in? That peak there that you're on.
This one.
No, the previous one.
This one.
Yeah. So we
141.
closed the same as the previous peak, right? The actual the highs.
Yeah.
So the actual the highs and lows.
Yeah, there at 17.
Obviously, it's pretty clear to see where resistance is there. At the very least, you're going to retest that V shape.
Yeah.
From early 25, where you had the pullback.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like,
Mr. Trump.
Yes.
Yeah, a retest of there. It'll be really interesting to see how it unfolds. Obviously, from a currency perspective, this, if you were trading Forex, this going down would be quite good if you were trading against pound pairings. So anything that was USD, GBP. I would say the Japanese one, but I wouldn't want to be buying Japanese yen either.
I've not even looked at the yen. How bad is it?
Let's look.
The yen.
Well, that's what the pound's been doing against it.
Thing is, it's not. Right, we're back to sort of like on the dollar yen. We're back to like January time.
Yeah,
it's so funny. I've not charted this for ages. I've got a couple of boxes left on there. It looks like they've all hit perfectly. If you look at that, when was when did we start getting the yen run? Is it October? Because there's a whacking great price gap between the 3rd of October and
this year.
Yeah. So if you look at the dollar yen,
This is on the weekly.
Daily.
Daily.
Uh,
Here, yeah, that gap.
What a lovely compression breakout. And we know what happens to compression breakouts. They get retested.
Yeah, and that's slammed into previous resistance. And you had
Similar
that bounce off.
on the pound yen, but the pound yen hasn't. It did get close to filling the gap, but it looks like there's still a big gap on there.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a gap there, isn't there? Closed some of it with a wick.
Yeah.
That there.
But it's certainly not done.
No. And that's
I don't know what budget-wise. She'll do what she's going to do, right? It's. I don't think. Part of me feels a little bit sorry for her because
it's
around.
It's an unwinnable job.
There's a big gap from that run up on the 30-year that probably needs retesting.
On here,
5.234%.
Yeah. This little gap here.
I assume that will get filled. Have you ever considered trading these, or?
I haven't. I don't really know. I can't think of where I would trade them from a brokerage perspective, unless you traded them on something like Pepperstone. But I don't know. For me, there's other things that I'd rather trade. I know some people who trade the US ones. Bond trading is it's an interesting area. Quite a niche one.
It's not. It's there's more than enough other stuff, but I just want obviously the yield you get for these bonds it's better than leaving your money in the bank, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you was just a general investor, I don't know how you would invest in it, but it looks like they definitely outperform, don't they?
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see as well some of this, because one of the policies mooted by Reeves is reducing the limit for the cash ISA.
Yeah.
And obviously the cash ISA, large elements of the cash ISA go into both are taken and used in mortgages and in buying some of these gilts.
Yeah. It all looks a bit messy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Really.
That would be a real backstep mistake for her if somehow she inadvertently, through her policies, pushes up mortgage rates, because that's one of the big strains that we've got at the minute on cost of living, is that push down, particularly when I think, assuming her budget goes okay and we don't see anything too wacky and nothing wacky comes up in the data, I'm assuming we see a BOE cut probably in December.
Yeah.
Because I think they were holding off.
Yeah.
They were holding off to see what she would do. But yeah, she's got.
What's the latest odds for the US rate cut? Because that dropped to like 30s last week, didn't it?
Yeah, it went to. Let's look. So it's CME, isn't it? CME Group. I've seen they've started. News organisations now have started using Polymarket, haven't they, as the predictor?
Yeah. Good old Polymarket.
Yeah, let's just have a look at Polymarket. Fed decision in December. We currently have an 83% chance of a 25 basis point decrease.
Yeah.
1% for 50 basis points, and 17% for no change.
Yeah.
And the Bank of England is 9% chance of no change, 90% chance of a 25% basis point, and 1% of a 50 basis point.
So what would that bring the base for the base rate for the UK at 25 base point?
What are we now? Are we 4.25? Are we still 4.25, or have we pushed down? Let's have a look. Current rate is 4. Current rate is 4.
And what's the 30-year?
30-year gilts are currently 5.34.
Interesting.
Isn't
quite right, is it?
No, but they're having the real issue of these are starting to dislocate with what the base rate is.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously this run up here has come on the back of the base rate being cut.
Yeah.
Which is never a good sign.
No.
Never a good sign. What is financial advice? Where's the third wise man? He couldn't make today. Something came up, so it's just Justin and I. Sorry to disappoint you if you were expecting some of Dave's wisdom, but
limited wisdom today.
Yeah, he's you're 2 or 3. Although Dave does drop wisdom every day on his stream, so it's you may not be missing out too much. But yeah, Dave couldn't make today. Do we talk some crypto?
Let's do it.
So if we look at where Bitcoin is now, obviously we've seen on the daily perspective we had this liquidation candle. Strong flush down to 80,636 according to Binance, before some solidifying over the weekend, and then we saw a push up on Monday with a little bit of a cool off today. How have you seen this pump? Have you played out any positions? Where do you see us pulling back a little bit ahead of some of this data, or do you see a push up to close this gap?
I see. You know what I see. Technically, I can see us ranging, if you look at the weekly, somewhere between 88.7 and 84. That's kind of a range that I'm considering. I would expect that we form a range, then maybe for a few weeks, and then maybe mid-December we have a push-up. I just want to see it form a lovely to push up towards back towards the lows from on the weekly, where you got the Weex down at the 6th and 13th of October.
Yeah.
So push back up to there, and form another range, which will then take us maybe into March time, and so maybe a range between 92 and 107. Obviously, it's a big range. Then nuke it down to somewhere between, what would that be? Let me just do some measurements. Maybe down to, like, best case scenario, round about 74. Worst case scenario, 48.
It's funny you say 74, because I don't know if you have this on your chart as well. There's a really, really interesting zone that I was looking at 74. Yeah, the tiniest of gaps, but you have this little gap that's on the 4 hour. We go on the daily. You've got the tiniest gap here.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of where I like that kind of range. But yeah, I could see sensible. I would say retest that wick. So basically, you'd want the high of the 11th of March to hold, if that didn't get retested. But I could also see another retest of 2021 high being in play.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would like to see a relief rally. I'd like to see the sentiment flip to we're so back, crypto bros, chest bumping each other, stuff like that, and then wreck them.
Yeah, because it feels like max pain now, at least in the short term, is a push up to here.
Yeah.
To inflict pain on those who thought it was over here and sold. Yeah. I think they've done a pretty good job of shaking a lot of people out over the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Like they are 3 fairly horrendous candles if you're on the wrong side of them.
Yeah.
And obviously we come down, we test this wick, and they've teased lower. And now I think everyone's got their eyes on this gap here.
Yeah.
And it feels like max pain is taking it away from this gap, because I think there'll be a lot of people who are like, right, we've come down here, I'm going to set my orders here.
Yeah.
So that makes sense, and I like a nice little push up. And then obviously a retest of the highs. I was chatting about this with someone the other day, and it'd be good to get your thoughts on it. They said when they were looking at previous highs, they account not so much for a horizontal line, but more of an inclined line to allow for an inflated view of previous highs. So as to what this high would be relative to where we are from an inflationary perspective now, which probably would put it around about here.
That sounds like someone's trying to justify trend lines to me. So if you don't mind, I'm going to politely decline.
I thought you loved a trend line.
My absolute favourites. Sounds like shite.
Well, I can put one on here, and we're bullish.
Yeah,
I like it when people put the trend lines on, and you can see the wicks go through the trend lines, but they justify it by saying the body hasn't gone through.
Yeah, which is fair enough. You can have the same with horizontal line.
Yeah,
but it's all trend lines, in my opinion, show is where liquidity sits, because you'll have multiple untested lows or highs, whichever way you do it. But I would just like the fuckery of seeing them potentially print a head and shoulders, a giant head and shoulders. That'd be pretty funny.
Yeah.
Which technically, if you measure everything out, could have some legitimacy. There is another scenario, which is not exactly the same, but if you look at the formations between the lows from November 22 to then the highs, or basically the low, then you got a peak around about 20th of February, liquidation at February 20.
Yeah, 23 liquidation.
That kind of potential shape of move, because if you discount, if you say the lower the compression, similar like November, December 22, equates to the compression that was the never-ending compression from March 24 to October 24.
Yeah.
Then you've got the run-up in a range, a bit of a pullback liquidation, then push up. And that would then give you, where did we come back to? So we didn't liquidate there. So then gives you an equal high range, dip and then rip scenario. Potential. I don't favour it, but it's because there is the potential that that could play out for sure. But we've got now, if you look, we've got a whacking great void in price between 86 and 93.7.
Yeah.
And then we've still got a massive gap in price between 71 and 78. So there is potential for some consolidation. I just think it would drive people mad just to have a couple. I still have on my chart one scenario whereby we have 3 more consolidations before any kind of rerunning of the highs, which would then intimate that you've got, just in those consolidations alone, somewhere between 6 to 8 weeks per consolidation at best. So then, if you say 6 weeks, 3 consolidations, that's obviously 18 weeks. Plus, then obviously the expansion moves in between. So you're talking probably 24 weeks, which is 5 months, 6 months.
Yeah. So that basically takes you up to May.
Yeah. Which is funny because I believe if you look at some timings,
I think I know what you're about to say here.
And of anticipated timings of what was supposed to happen in 2025, and now you look at the anticipate or potential timings of what might happen now, it would be right, but a year late.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm speaking to my friend that has this kind of intel later tonight. Just a surmise, but it would set up perfectly chart-wise.
Yeah. Yeah. And it lines up as well. It lines up with some macro stuff as well, because I'm assuming this period here is when we're likely to see, if they do go ahead, some of the checks of the stimulus variety.
Yeah.
Ahead of obviously the midterms in here.
Yeah. So it would be funny if it transpired that way, because I'd need to re-measure the chart out timing wise. But yeah, little relief pump now. Pull back to, obviously, we're going to need to retest the liquidation around back to where the zone is now.
Yeah.
then that would give January push a few months of pain.
Yeah.
Then another push, almighty nuke, and then May time, you're looking at May, June is when you'd get the new high.
Yeah.
Be funny, really, really ironic that if everyone was right, but a year moved. Frustrating as hell, don't get me wrong, but it stacks up with how I've got my chart set up.
Yeah. It makes a lot of sense to me. Yeah, because you've essentially got a year between there and there. That range of death was so funny.
How long did that last for? Was it up 270 days?
Yeah.
240 days.
240 days. That also had a Japan flash crash in it.
Yeah, which was the 5th of August, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's this week here.
Yeah, and that was, yeah. So where that means now, I need to probably have a look at on a lower time frame. Get my Bitcoin chart. My slight concern. Daily. The levels that I did have marked out for someone in CSE the other day played out to perfection over the weekend. So I would suggest that a very, very nice area to bid would be 81.2 to 82.5. That would be a very, very nice bid area for
81.2 to 82.5, yeah. That wick there. Obviously, none of this financial advice. This is not a signal. This is spiritual guidance.
Yeah.
Prefacing that. However, if it does work, feel free to send your P&L screenshots.
And 5 Bitcoins. Yeah, I really like that, actually. Really like that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
On the 4 hour, it looks great.
This bit here, just below the bodies.
Yeah, you can see. Well, I marked that out on the daily, and looking at it on the 4 hour, I've also marked out another level, and I can't remember why. Oh yeah, I can now. And where it perfectly rejected from. So have a look at the wick of 13th of January and see where we rejected from.
On the daily?
Yeah, 13th of January. A horizontal ray on them. It's cool.
Oh, that is perfect. Yeah.
As ever.
Let's see, yeah. So you've got a nice little range here. Let's see.
That's right. I say it's you can level this out in about 3 seconds of where to trade from to. But it looks fairly decent trade to me.
Yeah, absolutely. And I will label the box not spiritual guidance.
Yeah.
It even lets me pick up the box. Yeah.
Not spiritual guidance and do your own research and send 5 Bitcoin. That is the going fee for my spiritual guidance anyway.
Take your screenshots.
Be done. You have been warned. So yeah, that's kind of my overarching view of Bitty.
How about Ethereum, or is that similar?
USD. USD. Crypto.com. You've got my. You should have my chart of this, as previously shared. So, what I can see from Ethereum is very, very much a range being forward. If we gain a weekly close above $2,930, then that is a good retest long, I would suggest. If we do not gain that, I very much believe we will sit and form a range between 2,450 and 2,834. Again, not spiritual guidance.
range here, isn't it?
Yeah. Basically, where we had all of those wicks from May and June, there's a clear level of resistance on the actual weekly close. I would suggest we probably need to fill that entire gap.
Yeah.
So that would be a decent-ish area. You know what the weekly gain is. Let's have a look on another time frame. Sponge all data. Start fresh. This just doesn't look like it's made a load, does it? So I would say, from a daily standpoint, retest point. Somewhere between 2,679 and 2,730 would be a decent retest area.
2,700, do we say?
2,790 to 2,730, something like that would be quite a nice range. But like all charts at present, this is very much bearish.
Yeah.
And has not gained at all. What does it look like on the 4 hour? 4 hour for me. You could say you've had a chock, but I'm not loving it. I would say 3,050 is a decent level to short from.
Yeah. Not financial advice.
No. Send 5 Bitcoin. Yeah, from a lower time frame and from a long standpoint, I think I like $2,758.
What was that one, sorry?
2758.
2758. Yeah.
Solana. What have we got for Solana? 1 week. Ooh, so Solana, I think, is a bit ahead, and I actually quite like where we're at. So, from my very humble opinion, I think above $128 on the weekly close is still bullish. If we lose that, then I do expect us to retest the support at $112. If that does not hold, then it's not good. So let me have a look on a different time frame. Bybit USDT. Let's have a look on another time. Bybit perps. Yes. There's a clear void in price on Solana on the weekly, as you can probably see. So as long as we stay above that on the weekly, then fine. What are you saying? Okay, have fun. I can still see Solana, if I'm right, making a mighty nuke fest at some point into the 70s.
Yeah.
Is my scenario, but as we currently stand, doesn't look great. It doesn't. Everything looks the same. It's all hinging on Bitcoin.
Yeah, I think this one probably looks the best out of the bunch, in my opinion, because I think we are sat on this mega liquidity zone where every time we tested it, we've had a nice reaction out of it.
I very much like 131 as a trading entry on the 4 hour.
Funnily enough, that's where my second long came from that I cashed out here. Yeah,
I just like that 131. If you look at the Weex a bit further back,
here.
So from the 20th of November, it's two bearish weeks. That kind of area as a retest.
Yeah, and that still keeps a semi-bullish structure on the near term, because if you bounce there, you are still then
still
printing higher lows.
But the clear level to gain, and I would say if you can't work this out for yourself, then you probably shouldn't be trading. But true support of where you could look to start moving up a bit is $144.66. Basically above them highs here. You can see clear resistance.
Yeah.
That is level to gain. I would not be running along unless that's gained. That's a retest or an area to long from. If you get the pullback and you long up, if you are targeting any higher for your TPs, all might not end well.
Yeah.
What other ones did I have in my box of tricks the other day? BNB.
I was going to say Asian crime coin. I had a nice long on this, which I closed out yesterday.
Again, any of my, probably if you look back on stream from when I mentioned it before, they're was an absolute bullseye entry, but in sense with what I probably said. I would love to buy BNB if we got a retest around about 670 to 700 would be a very, very dreamy entry.
Yeah, this little pocket here.
Yes, just above that area. That would be. Thank you, Justin, for a lovely spiritual guide. On a trade.
Yeah.
From a low time frame perspective, I never really trade BNB.
No, I took a little long. At 8:30. I was going to target 900, but we saw a little bit of a retracement. I've got a level that I'm looking at on it. And I don't know how that correlates with yours.
I would say, from a long perspective, the low of the wick of 10th of October, which we're kind of just below at the moment, I would say this is possibly not far off of being okay to long now.
Yeah.
But there's a little formation from September 25. That is clear levels again. But then what concerns me is the wick from 4th of November, the 14th of November, and 18th of November could prove to be resistance. But kind of like where this is sitting at the moment. Any kind of drop to around about 835-ish would be decent long, I'd say.
Like this lines up with my. So I played this move yesterday. Not financial advice, but my entries may or may not lie in this zone here.
So one of the things that has been very clear to me about myself, whether it was a drop earlier in the month or whenever that big liquidation was, October, and or where we've gone to now, months and months and months and months and months ago, I had every single one of these levels marked out. So in hindsight, things like H-bar, which we mentioned the other day, Link, another prime example, every single trade would have literally just given such, like, you're better off just not bidding anything and go, right, where's the absolute stinkiest, where it's clear on charts, where is the stinkiest area that it's going to retest to, and just bid them. My goodness, you would have made a lot of money. What I'm liking, just to deviate away from that into mainstream memes, Bonk has lost weekly support, which is good. Means that's going to probably carry on grinding down. Pepe has also lost weekly support. I did notice one that we was talking about the other day was rats. And did you see the rally on rats?
I did indeed.
It's done 10x since the low in October.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong, that went to almost zero. But my goodness, it's retesting support at the moment, like true support, in my opinion. It's just undeciding on that.
Yeah.
Another one that you may want to consider putting on your radars in the not too distant future is Turbo, because I believe we are almost in a level whereby we have mitigated one of my special areas, and we might see a move on it akin to what Rat's done.
Yeah.
I won't tell. I'm not going to give away all my secrets, but I will.
Weekly, but yeah, look, daily, you're seeing a little bit of a bottoming out.
So I will send that to, if you remind me, I'll send you to my exact chart of where I'm thinking.
Fantastic.
You are there. Brett, not at support. Don't touch it. Catty, no. I like where Doge is.
I was looking at that the other day, actually. Like that bounced off that previous monthly level back from April 2025.
14 cents is a nice buy, I think.
Yeah, not financial advice.
Dog looks like a dog. Fart coin.
Fart coin has done quite well, hasn't it?
Retested liquidity, but I would suggest that it's, unless it gains above 37.5 cents, we are still bearish.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see it come down more. Goats, screwed. Melania, screwed. Me, screwed. Mew, really screwed.
I tell you what caught my eye, Pengu.
Look at Pengu. I've got another one that has caught my eye.
Okay.
Moodeng.
Dave's favourite one.
Oh, I always say Moodeng again. It's not ready yet, but does appear to me that could be coming to a significant area. Myro, dead. Pengu. So, there is a level I immediately like on Pengu, and we're not at it. We have a drop, in my opinion, of another 42%. Again, if you want to put that on my to-do list to share with my nearest and dearest.
Yeah, I think I know exactly where you're looking at, because I think I have a box there.
Popcat, dead. Trump looked awful. Whiff, I like.
Ooh.
Whiff, I do like. Dog with hat. I like Whiff. Very, very much like Whiff.
I find it mad that this thing is trading at 35 cents. And last year this thing was $3.50.
Yeah.
It has literally, if you go weekly and you press Alt-I, you've had a parabolic move. Yeah, that's got to quite an interesting zone. What other memes I have? Fat coin rock. What's Peanut doing? That thing looks dead. Sundog.
Sundog. That's literally Sundog.
Yeah. This is one Dave and I were speaking about, that we think at some point Justin Sun will send it. But it looks horrendous.
Yeah. Slightly decline that one.
Ghostius Maximus, dead.
Yeah.
Ponky, dead.
What about things like Flocky and stuff like that?
That's had a recent bit of a renaissance, hasn't it? That is interesting. That is interesting.
Yes, I expect a little bit more downage, but like it. Flocky on my watch list. Any other memes that people want to chill with?
I'm trying to think what else I've got on my list.
Oh my god, I just saw someone say, could be time for leverage positions, to be honest.
I would say probably not at the minute, unless they are well managed.
I would say, at your peril, leverage trade crypto, unless you're scalping.
There is this. I think this one has a bit more down to go. I'll take all my drawings away from this. Toshi. This is another Coinbase one.
Yeah. Well, I would kind of hope, dreams and aspirations that actual utility gets a bit of stab at some capital at some point. But
yeah. This has just been murdered. ZRO.
I've not even looked. So the bad point that I would note and everyone be wary of: total market cap of crypto is very much below support.
Yeah.
And very much bearish. I still have a retest area that I'm looking at. I mean, depends what Bitcoin does, obviously. Can you imagine if we swept down to 2.2 trillion, something like that?
Yeah.
That might. Which would coincide with some of my other stuff. But what's total to?
That would represent 20% downside, which that would correlate if you were to get Bitcoin in the 60s.
Yes. Ugh. Well, the thing is, again, you know my view. I think the stock market is primed for about 8 to 10% pullback.
Yeah.
Still, and if that is so, then obviously crypto is going to get raped.
Yeah. Yeah. Because
total 3 looks. Ugh.
That is what I have marked out for the S&P.
Yep, you know my areas again where I have my. So total 1, not good. Total 2, better, I would say. Total 3, others.
Yeah, others is not the best.
ETH Bitcoin has got some room to the downside. Sol versus ETH.
That may get a bit more of a reversal.
Sol ETH looks like it could bottom. ETH Bitcoin, terrible. Yeah, what's Dominance doing? Still expect a liquidation on that. A further or retest.
Yeah.
That no good.
This was positive. Hope it. I don't like this push up, but XRP dominance.
So one of the coins I was going to look at is XRP. I've not looked at XRP for
Because that dominance is grinding up. That is.
It's such a funky chart.
Mm.
So I would very much project that if we lose the weekly at about 192, we really, really need to revisit $1.55. And there's a whacking great range that needs to be filled in between those 2 points. If it just looked to me, it just looks like we've got a long time of knobbing around, reaccumulating.
Yeah.
That's
More chop.
That is my
more chop, and I think that's in the favour of, certainly from an exchange and market making perspective. I think more chop is ideal for them.
fee collecting, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly, and I think, yeah, and it'll be interesting. I think we do need a nice period of some sort of calm and tranquility. Certainly, I think the stock market is about to take a breather because that has run very, very hot for a very, very long time.
But it's the same as as we've been saying for a while. I think we need bonds to lead the way and finish doing what it's going to do before we get any kind of rotation back.
Yeah, because what has the US 10 years been doing? Yeah, so we need the US 10 years to start pushing up a little bit more again.
Yeah.
I say we need them. Americans don't need that because that'll be pain and suffering. But I think as a you can see that this is now getting to a point that's quite attractive for capital.
Yeah.
And the same will be with gold, won't it? So
what's Zcash doing?
Oh, that one, I was chatting to someone about that. That is at a really interesting zone. That's a horrible weekly chart, isn't it? So that's a bit get. Because I think this, not financial advice, and you may have slightly differing opinions, but this is beginning to get to a zone in which I would be attracted to a potential green button move.
449?
Yeah. Yeah, that was a retested there.
Yeah, that looks all right.
Yeah, because I think you've got fairly good invalidation.
Yeah.
I
concur. So,
what else have I got?
show me something else.
What else have we got? Where do we think Google's topping out? That thing is mega price discovery.
Apple, my hopes and dreams.
Yeah.
I think Amazon has held support. If Amazon does not, then the area I'm looking at, where I'd be interested, is somewhere between 189 and 205 as a kind of range to bid.
189, 205, yeah.
Google. Well,
I think Google's pretty much untradeable at the minute, to be honest. Unless you're green button long. I don't think there's any trading that at the minute.
No. That is... it doesn't even really say 1, 2, B, C. Expansion. Yeah, I've got nothing now. to say. That just looks like, I think the next area that I would be interested in is around $350.
Yeah.
Probably, because just that.
It's auction theory number.
Yeah. And then if it drops to 55,
yeah,
probably piqued my interest.
Yeah. Yeah, but certainly that's not a trend that you want to be standing in front of yet. You'll want to see some you want to see a bit more slowdown on that one. Some struggle. Speaking of struggle,
go on.
The darling of the Mag 7. This is having a bit of a tough time lately, isn't it? NVDA.
I really like where Microsoft is.
Yeah.
As you know.
Yeah. We both have similar bids.
NVIDIA. I can see. Where are you going to go, Ryan? You see?
I have a zone marked out where I'm ready to take a scalp long. I can flash up the chart, the working chart that I have, and see if that correlates with what you're looking at. Is my next long bounce zone is at 173 for a scalp.
Yeah. It's all this crappy background. How do I get rid of that? Settings.
I have had a lot of fun on this thing over the last week. I played the same entry 8 times, 5 times on the long and 3 on the short. It's a very fun zone, but yeah, this.
Yeah, I mean basically the easy area to mark out is between 7th of August 2025 and 19th of August 2025. And I dare say that's probably buy here, sell there. Yep, pretty much. If you're the side of it, that's fine. It's quite funny seeing where it's also bouncing with relation to something else as well. I will also show you slide. So where is the next level of support?
170 feels like a level. It's a weird chart, though, isn't it?
I mean, we're below the point of control. So, yeah. Making me look at stuff intently now. 166 maybe.
I've been told the European Flames will have to buy
166. I would say.
Yeah.
Financial advice.
Yeah, sweeper there. But yeah, I like Microsoft. I think Microsoft is in a really interesting zone. What else do we have? Tesla. Tesla feels in a little bit of a. Obviously, I know where you have your heavy bids on Tesla. I might.
Zero.
Yeah. And there's some interesting zones on this. That feels
very. Did you listen to the interview he done the other day, Mr. Musk, with Jensen when they were doing their press conference after Saudi Arabia had been over?
I heard some snippets, mostly about the capital and the energy angle.
Yeah, and where obviously all of his companies kind of come together for global domination, and basically AI space.
Yeah,
Did you see that one?
yeah,
And
yeah.
obviously, they're making their own way for basically being a chip manufacturer.
Yeah, that was the pump yesterday, wasn't it? It's the disclosure that their chip business is doing quite well. But everyone's making their own chips now. That's why Google's having this renaissance. I think Google were really smart in the fact that they went and down and started making their own chips before. Google had been quite ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
I tell you, the Mag 7 that is interesting. I'm waiting for a little bit lower on it.
Go on.
Meta.
So Meta, there is one zone I really like, but it's 50% drawdown from here. So,
I won't upload that clip to Facebook.
So I like 542 kind of area. Would be nice. Which doesn't seem like a million miles away.
No, that's
another 11% drawdown.
Yeah.
It would maintain market structure.
Yeah, because this thing's been hammered.
Yeah. Yes, that has been slightly compromised.
Slightly compromised.
How are we looking on Intel? It's so funny. I have had Intel charted out for a couple of years, and the TA has been nothing short of biblically good. Literally the rejection zone perfect that we had October time. What else do we want to look at? What other stock?
What else have we got that's interesting?
Is there any altcoins or anything that people want to
if there's any altcoins or stocks or anything that people have, this thing's just gone absolutely bananas. Eli Lilly on the back of the fat jabs. They've joined the $1 trillion club. I think they are the first pharmaceutical company to become $1 trillion. Oh,
wow. I'm just looking. I'll tell you what is coming to a nice little potential level that might be of interest to it holds is Cardano.
We've got a request in here for Beyond Meat, which I don't have huge hopes for. I think this is that is what they call a exit pump.
Pump and dump.
I like it though.
So, just looking through, I mean, look at the state of Aptos. Arbitrum.
Yeah. Well, it's all these layer ones. Like, there's no real purpose. You saw it with Monad yesterday. Like, how are these things raising at billions of dollars when they have no use case? Like, who's using these layer ones?
I genuinely cannot believe quite how bad altcoins look.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what looked. Oh, I feel a bit dirty saying this, and I so apologise. That looks relatively okay. Is Bitcoin Cash?
I've seen a few people talk about that. Yeah.
So, I just saw something spectacularly funny. Go on to Bell.
Bell or Bow?
BEL USDT. What the fuck is that? Literally bottomed, done 6x, and then undone 6x in a week.
I think I remember Dave talking about this. Someone asked him on stream about it. That is, you just know as well. Someone's had a long in there, closed it up there. Perfect back test.
That is just rugged.
That is. We spoke about beyond exit pump. That is what they call it in the business, exit pump. I'll tell you what did catch my eye yesterday, Justin.
Go on.
Is our old dear friend Bake did. I assume this is the right one.
Yeah.
I don't even know where this is still.
Just do it on crypto, the spot.
Crypto here.
Yeah.
Because I saw at one point yesterday, this thing was it was in my watch list up 40%, but I have a feeling this thing is just like, yeah, that is dead as a dodo. What else do we have? Let's have a look on some of my watch lists. If there's anything that is stupid green on here, I'll tell you what actually is interesting.
I've got some financial advice.
Okay.
Go on, you go first.
I was going to say Plasma XPL. This thing has been showing some interesting signs.
Perks. He's not there yet. However, something that looks like it's holding. If it could gain, look at E and A.
Ooh. Ooh.
That's one to have on the watch list for sure. Everything. I mean, hype has badly lost support.
Yeah.
$28 looks inviting minimum.
Yeah, I was saying to Dave, 24 is where I'd start to prick my ears up a little bit.
Man alive. If Jasmine can hold that weekly close where it is around about now, Jasmine looks all right. Wow. I'm just flicking through stuff. Just another one that's and apologies for pulling out a load of old school coins, but Litecoin,
yeah,
like that could be all right.
Wrecked again.
I'm just flicking through stuff, and what I can say to the fine listeners of this wonderful show, all coins have fucked way more people than Bonnie Blue managed. Way more. Look at the state of it.
This one's interesting. Is DOT is now coming in to test its listing price.
Yeah. How are these projects even still going? So, outside of some real dino coins, my spiritual advice for the day: do not touch alts under any circumstances whatsoever. They are ruined. Ooh, saying that, very, very much like where Sui's sitting now.
Oh, don't say that.
Very much like Sui.
Oh, don't say that. You're going to make me feel sick. I did 200x scalp long that Haller and I did at dinner at 1:33 on Saturday night.
It hit perfect one of my little special zones. We gained 156.5 on the weekly. That puppy's going. We're gonna pump video. Sushi dead. Towel dead.
Yeah.
Celestia, can't even bring myself to look at that.
Yeah, dead.
Another coin that we all know is a scam, but is at a level in which I would say it's worth having a tickle on, is TRB.
Ooh.
Look at it, it's very clear on the weekly. This is possibly the biggest scam I've ever seen in my entire time in crypto when that happened. Remember that?
Yeah. Could you imagine? Could you imagine if they did that again this year?
That'd be great, but I think that's probably done. Had fun, but it's retesting a very, very interesting level. So if you look at like 30th of Jan 23 kind of time, on the weekly, probably cleaner on the weekly.
'30th of Jan, did we say?
Yeah, back there.
Yeah.
Tron. Ugh. Uniswap. It doesn't look too bad, to be honest with you. Dead.
What about our mooing friend?
Dead. I mean, look at one of the real best performers of the early part of the cycle. Have a look at Velo.
Ooh.
And on the weekly, and just look at the sequence of red candles that we've just had. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 straight weeks of red candles.
Horrendous.
72% down. Holy shit balls. That's a bit damaged. VRA. Last two. That's been harangued. WorldCoin. Wormhole. Zai. XLM. The only coins that look semi-worthwhile looking at is the real dino coins, is what.
Because you don't have the unlocks anymore. We saw that with Zcash running, Dash running, is it's those ones that have been accumulated, because I think we've seen it with a lot of the newer coins. Just once they start to move up, we start to see the VCs unload.
Every other, outside of Dynate coins, every other ticker that I have clicked on
looks bad.
Well, it don't even look bad. They just look like they've been mugged. And all support's been pulled.
Yeah. It's the this has been the cycle of tokenomics, and I think this is where we've seen tokenomics rear their very ugly head for projects, and the lack of allocation has been you have been buying some VC's exit.
Yes. Well, you think of it when everyone was doing the OTC deals post, like, was it Token 49? 2049? Last April?
Yeah.
And everyone was just dumping altcoins. And it turns out that was a pretty inspired move by the KOLs that were selling their bags.
Yeah. It was it's not been pleasant, but what has been pleasant is a nice morning of talking charts and outlook. So I'm gonna wrap it up here because the sun is out and I think I need to go for a run. So I will thank you very much for joining.
That's quite all right. Pleasure as always.
Been a fun one. Hopefully people have got some spiritual guidance and or had some hopium knocked out of them. But there is plenty of stuff to trade and some good opportunities, and should be
plenty to trade.
Yeah, I've had my most profitable, most successful trading months over the last 6-7 weeks, and it's been chop. So it's.
Is that coincided with the wise men?
Potentially so. I don't. Correlation doesn't equal causation, I would add, but it's suspiciously correlated. But yeah, no, it's been fun trading. I've also been trading a lot of stocks recently, which I think helps, and not as much crypto. But thank you very much for your time, and I will drop you a message for some charts. But
lovely.
Yeah, fantastic. Have
a weekend. Stay safe.
Have a nice weekend. It's only Tuesday. Mind you, it's a short trading week. For our American friends, you're on working up until Wednesday.
Yeah.
So have a fun afternoon. Have a profitable afternoon. Control your risk. Don't use max leverage unless you know how to use max leverage. And we will see you all on the Wise